tells us that fearing God is the beginning of wisdom. In other words, if we don't fear God, we don't even have the beginning of wisdom. And of course, if we don't have wisdom, we're fools. The Bible says the fool has said in his heart, there is no God, because he has no wisdom. Notice Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 10, where we're told that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. So you can have all kinds of information in your brain that you've studied in school, but if you don't have the fear of the Lord, the Bible says that we do not even have the beginning of wisdom. We have not even started to be wise. So it's very important to have the fear of the Lord. Another interesting detail about the fear of God or the fear of the Lord is that we cannot simply make up our minds that we're going to fear the Lord. Because the Bible tells us that the fear of the Lord is placed in our hearts by God Himself. Notice what we find in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 32 and verse 40. Jeremiah 32 and verse 40. Here, God is speaking, and He says this, "And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from doing them good. But," notice this, "but I will put my fear in their hearts so that they will not depart from me." So you don't make up your mind that you're going to have the fear of God. The Bible says that God Himself takes that fear and He plants it in your heart. The Bible also tells us that the fear of God or the fear of the Lord is far better than any earthly possession that we might have. It's far better than riches. Notice what we find in Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 16. Here, Solomon, who, by the way, for a while was very rich and also very foolish because he did not have the fear of the Lord. He went astray from God. Then later on in his life, he wrote Proverbs, so he's writing from experience. And notice what he says. "Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure with trouble." It's better to have just a little with the fear of the Lord than to have all kinds of riches. Now, another important aspect of fearing God or having the fear of the Lord in your life is the fact that it is a choice. In other words, to fear God is something that you choose. You allow God to take it and plant it into your heart. Notice Nehemiah chapter 1 and verse 11. Nehemiah chapter 1 and verse 11. There it says, "O Lord, I pray, please let your ear be attentive to the prayer of your servant and to the prayer of your servants," notice, "who desire to fear your name." So fearing God's name is a desire that we have. It's a choice. And then it says, "And let your servant prosper this day, I pray, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man." Also, in Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 29, we find this statement, "Then they will call on me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but they will not find me. Because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, they would have none of my counsel and despised my every rebuke." So notice once again the idea that Israel is rejected by God at this point because she did not choose the fear of the Lord. In other words, we can choose to fear God or we can choose not to fear God. It's not something arbitrary that God plants in the hearts of some people and not in the hearts of other people. It's something that we must choose to allow God to plant in our heart.